number of COVID-19 cases continues to rise globally and right here in Guyana. Therefore, we encourage everyone to practice social distancing. Wear a mask if you have to leave your homes and wash your hands thoroughly and frequently as we strive to stop the spread of the virus. Welcome to InfoHub for Thursday, April 23. Thanks for joining us. As Guyana continues its fight against the novel coronavirus, Prime Minister and Chairman of the National COVID-19 Task Force, the Honorable Moses Nagamutu, earlier today provided clarity on a number of measures being taken to curb the spread of the virus and mitigate its impact locally. Here's our first report. During the virtual press conference, Prime Minister Nagamutu told the media that the significant measures implemented to combat the disease was the closure of the country's borders and airspace. He noted that the NCTF has been working along with the Guyana Civil Aviation Authority.
That has been, for me, a significant measure that we have implemented or guide in this implementation without unnecessarily compromising on best practices around the world.
Prime Minister Nagamutu also disclosed that security efforts have been increased at the country's borders.
And we are aware that there has been an inflow of Venezuelans into our borders at places like Baramita, Sand Creek, and some other areas in the northwest, what is used to call Region 1, the Arima Waini. These have led to reinforced security presence who have been intercepting these intruders. And in one case, as Mr. Ramjatan has disclosed, we sent back a number of persons. On that occasion, there were 42 Venezuelan citizens or nationals who are making an effort to come into Guyana. So that effort continues.
The NCTF chair also commended the Civil Defense Commission for the work it has done thus far and brought clarity to the decision to revamp the distribution process.
While we are dealing with hampers, handouts alone will not be satisfactory to all over the long term. So they have to have a combination of measures. Minister of Finance, Winston Jordan, has alluded to the long-term view of stimulus package, and that will see actual assistance to small businesses and business sector to stimulate the economy and to stimulate productive life and employment.
In the meantime, persons are encouraged to adhere to the many advisories being published by the Public Health Ministry and to practice good hygiene. The United States of America has committed some $100 million towards the fight against the novel coronavirus in Guyana. In a release today, the U.S. Embassy in Georgetown stated that through the Regional Caribbean Office of Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, $100 million will be released to help address the areas of laboratory diagnostic supplies, surveillance, infection prevention and control, emergency operations centers, and the strengthening of systems in Guyana. The embassy said the CDC will coordinate with the Ministry of Public Health here and its regional partners to disburse the funds rapidly and implement activities. More details on this story can be read on our website. Meantime, the Civil Defense Commission, in collaboration with the Guyana Post Office Corporation, has provided face masks for pensioners in efforts to effectively commence the early pension payment plan scheduled for April 29 to May 7, while containing the spread of COVID-19.
The Civil Defense Commission donated a total of 5,000 face masks. These face masks are donated primarily to be distributed to the pensioners. As we know, the GPOC and the Ministry of Social Protection and other organizations are doing all that they can to reduce the amount of persons going to collect their pensions when they are required to.
That was the Director General of the Civil Defense Commission, Lieutenant Colonel Kester Craig, highlighting efforts to ensure the safety of senior citizens while they collect their pensions. Deputy Postmaster General of the Guyana Post Office Corporation, Anastasia Jessamy Lynch, noted that each of the 64 post office locations will receive face masks to guarantee protection amid this pandemic.
We all have to work together to make this possible. Our senior citizens have laid the foundation for us, and we want to ensure that they're safe at this time. So today we're thankful for this, and it's good to know that everybody at this point in time, we're coming together to play our part for the survival and the development of Guyana.
For InfoHub, Gavin Lewis.
Now for an update on the national recount. The Guyana Elections Commission has received the approval of the National COVID-19 Task Force for it to utilize its proposed 10 workstations for the national recount of the March 2, 2020 ballots, scheduled to take place at the Artichon Conference Center. Alexis Rodney has that update.
Instead of the 14 allotted persons to be present at each station, only 8 will accommodate that amount. The remaining 2 stations can only contain a maximum of 10 persons. Altogether, some 132 persons should be at the Artichon Convention Center during the recount process. Following a visit to the conference center on Monday, the task force presented its report to the Elections Commission, which also included 14 recommendations the Commission should follow to ensure the safety of all involved.
That the Commission should implement, that is in terms of the sanitization, the frequency at which the staff and other persons present at the respective workstations should sanitize. The protocol should be used in terms of garbage disposal, the frequency at which bins and so on should be emptied, the number of bins, the rotation in terms of the lunch hours and other meal break, and of course emphasizing the importance of staff being hydrated and ensuring that the windows are open.
That was GCOM's Public Relations Officer Yolanda Ward. In the meantime, the Commission met on Thursday to finalize the draft order, which was prepared to guide the method that will be used for the recount. Ward said that order was prepared within a legal framework.
For any operations, GCOM, we have to move ahead from a legal standpoint. And therefore, one of the things when the decision of a national recount was considered was to have the protocols gazetted in an order. And so this order, as a result of some decisions at the last commission meeting for a commissioner to prepare a draft order, that was done. It was submitted to the chairperson and subsequently circulated to the other commissioners. And so the meeting this morning is really to peruse that order to ensure that it reflects the decisions taken at the commission.
For InfoHub, Alexis Rodney.
More news after the break. Stay with us.
A face mask only works if it is put on, used, and removed properly. Before putting on a face mask, please do remember to wash your hands with adequate soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Or use a hand sanitizer with 60% or more alcohol. This is an N95 face mask. Check your mask for holes and tears. Identify the top of the mask. Cup the mask in the palm of your hand with the metal strip at your fingertips and the elastic bands hanging loosely. Position the mask under your chin and covering your nose. Place the lower strap behind your neck. It must touch your neck. Place the upper strap to the top of your head. Untwist the straps. Use both hands to mold the shape of the nose piece by pushing downward and outward. Perform a fit check by checking the mask to see if there are any air leaks. Do not lower your mask to speak. You must not touch the front of your mask. If you do, then wash your hands immediately. When removing the face mask, remove the bottom elastic from behind, then the top elastic, ensuring that the elastic straps do not snap. Once again, do not touch the front of the mask. Throw the mask away in a bin with cover. Do not forget to wash your hands immediately. Remember, If your mask gets damp, replace it.
Welcome back. Some good news. The Ministry of Indigenous Peoples Affairs has facilitated the transport of 40 students to Regions 1, 7, 8, and 9, as well as the return of persons who sought medical attention in Georgetown.
The students were being housed at the secondary and tertiary dormitories at Linendal. Those persons who sought medical attention were housed at the Indigenous residence in Princess Street, Georgetown. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Shiri Samantha Fidi, said some parents also traveled to Georgetown to take their children back home.
When Guyana had discovered first case of coronavirus in the month of March, the Ministry of Indigenous Affairs transported students who were housed at the scholarship dormitory at Linendal, transported approximately about 40 students to the hinterland communities, namely Region 1, 7, 8, and 9, while some parents came for their children. And those children whose parents came for them would be refunded.
Several persons remain housed at the Indigenous residence. The Permanent Secretary explained that in collaboration with the Ministry of Public Health, those who were cleared for traveling will return home soon.
While we still have some remaining who have completed medical treatment, they are at the residence and they have not returned home due to the fact that there's a shutdown on all aircraft traveling with passengers to the hinterland communities. They're only allowing cargoes. But the ministry continues to get assistance in transporting patients through Ministry of Health when they are transporting medical supplies to the hinterland communities for treatment of illness and the present who are being diagnosed with the COVID-19 in the hinterland communities. Ministry of Health continues to assist us when they have a flight going into the hinterland communities. The Ministry of Health use the Guyana Defense Force aircraft. So the ministry is being assisted through Ministry of Health to take patients back to hinterland communities.
Sneaker Thorne, InfoHub.
The New Amsterdam Mayor and Town Council says it is working to ensure that every resident adheres to the curfew, as the town does its part to help slow the spread of the coronavirus. Kelon Rover tells us more.
New Amsterdam Mayor, Her Worship Winifred Haywood, told InfoHub that making sure residents adhere to the nationwide curfew is a priority.
Once you belong to this town and the environs, you have to go by the order of our government. We are strict on that.
During a virtual interview on Thursday, the mayor said the municipality is also strict on ensuring that every business owner installs a hand-washing station at the entrance of their buildings. Mayor Haywood disclosed that guidelines were also given to the vendors so that they know what is required during this time as they ply their trade. Social distancing, she said, continues to be maintained by customers, while wearing a mask before entering the market is compulsory.
Because we have informed them, they are keeping in line with what we have said to them. Because right now, where the market is concerned, we're only looking at the essential items. And the essential items would be like the meat, the fish, the vegetables, the fruits.
With many persons at home, the payments of rates and taxes has been affected. However, the mayor said other strategies have been implemented.
We have been collecting, but not very much because people are scared to come out. But we have been advertising, saying to them that, well, we have the staff and they could bring in their taxes. But it is working, and we're happy that it is working so that we are able at least to pay salary and also wages.
The mayor commended the police and B Division for ensuring that the curfew is adhered to. For InfoHub, I am Kelon Rover.
Now, as we all know that the COVID-19 emergency measures have led to more people remaining at home, so how is it that citizens get the things they need from the stores without leaving the comfort of their homes? Shaquille Bourne tells us how.
HeroCart, a small business that offers delivery services for food, laundry, and nearly any day-to-day requests around Georgetown, has risen to the challenge to keep customers satisfied amid COVID-19. Co-founder and operations manager Kimberly Dutchin spoke to InfoHub about the services being offered to stay-at-home customers.
Food delivery has and still is our biggest request, but currently we are doing a lot of grocery shopping and other household essentials.
Customers can make their requests known by using WhatsApp messaging or reaching out to HeroCard through a phone call.
In terms of social distancing, we encourage our riders to communicate with their customers so as to relay any information needed like costs, change, or guidelines when they arrive at the customer's premises, which reduces the interaction at the time of delivery.
With a core group of 20 delivery agents, HeroCards can be contacted on 623-3500, 608-3500, or 623-3508. Their Facebook and Instagram handles are also available to customers. Operation hours are from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Shaquille Bourne for InfoHub.
Remember to do your part to ensure you do not put yourself at risk during this time. If you have a cough, fever, and difficulty breathing, seek medical care early, but call the hotline first. That's all for today. Connect with us on all our social media platforms, including WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, as we bring you the latest and important news related to COVID-19 and much more. Also, subscribe to our website, dpi.gov.gy. Your Bridge Report is up next. Stay safe and goodbye for now.